Abraham Lincoln, born on February 12, 1809, hailed from humble beginnings. He was born in a small log cabin in Kentucky. His family was poor, and life on the frontier was tough. Young Lincoln had limited access to formal education. Despite the hardships, Lincoln possessed an unyielding spirit. He helped his father on the farm and also took on odd jobs to support his family. Through it all, he remained determined to better himself. Lincoln's early life instilled in him the values of hard work and perseverance. These values would serve him well throughout his life. He never forgot his roots and the struggles of ordinary people. Despite limited schooling, Lincoln had a voracious appetite for knowledge. He was self-taught in many ways. He would often walk miles to borrow books and spent countless hours reading by candlelight. Lincoln devoured books on history, law, and philosophy. He honed his writing and oratory skills, engaging in debates to sharpen his mind. He believed in the power of education to uplift himself and his community. His dedication to self-improvement laid the foundation for his future success. His eloquence and sharp intellect would later captivate the nation. Lincoln's journey exemplifies the power of self-education and determination. Before entering politics, Lincoln explored various professions. He worked as a storekeeper, postmaster, and even a rail splitter. These experiences provided him with valuable insights into the lives of ordinary Americans. His early careers honed his leadership skills. He learned the importance of hard work, honesty, and fairness. These experiences shaped his character and prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead. Lincoln's diverse background made him a relatable figure to many. He understood the hopes and concerns of the people he would one day lead. His journey to leadership was marked by constant learning and growth. Lincoln entered politics at a turbulent time in American history. The issue of slavery deeply divided the nation. He emerged as a strong voice against slavery. His eloquence and unwavering convictions resonated with many. In 1860, Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. His presidency was marked by the tumultuous Civil War. He led the nation through its darkest hour, holding the Union together. Lincoln's unwavering commitment to abolishing slavery culminated in the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. This historic document declared the freedom of slaves in Confederate territories. He believed in the promise of equality for all. Abraham Lincoln's legacy extends far beyond his presidency. He is remembered as the great emancipator and one of the greatest leaders in American history. His life and achievements continue to inspire generations.
Abraham Lincoln's personal life was marked by both joy and profound sorrow. In 1842, he married Mary Todd, a spirited and ambitious woman from a prominent Kentucky family. Their union was a complex one, marked by contrasting personalities and personal tragedies. The Lincolns had 4 sons, but only one, Robert, survived to adulthood. The loss of their children weighed heavily on both parents, particularly Mary. Their second son, Edward, died in 1850 at just 3 years old. Willie, their third son, succumbed to typhoid fever in 1862 at the age of 11, while Lincoln grappled with the horrors of the Civil War. These tragedies left an undeniable mark on the Lincoln family. Despite the hardships they faced, Abraham and Mary's relationship was also one of deep love and mutual respect. Mary was a constant source of support for her husband, particularly during his political career. She was a shrewd political strategist in her own right, and her influence on Lincoln's decisions should not be underestimated. Abraham Lincoln's journey to the White House was a testament to his ambition, intellect, and unwavering belief in the American experiment. Born in a log cabin in Kentucky, Lincoln was largely self-educated. He moved to Illinois as a young man and worked as a storekeeper, postmaster, and lawyer before entering politics. Lincoln's political career began in the Illinois legislature, where he served 8 years. During his time in the State House, he became known for his sharp wit, his eloquence, and his commitment to Whig principles. In 1846, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives, where he served a single term. While in Congress, Lincoln opposed the Mexican-American War, arguing that it was an unjust war of aggression. He also spoke out against the expansion of slavery into the Western territories. Although he lost his bid for re-election in 1848, Lincoln's time in Congress provided him with valuable experience on the national stage. The passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1854 proved to be a turning point in American history and in Abraham Lincoln's political career. This controversial legislation, championed by Illinois Senator Stephen Douglas, allowed for the expansion of slavery into territories previously closed to it under the Missouri Compromise. The act ignited fierce opposition in the North and led to the formation of the Republican Party, a new political force united in its opposition to the expansion of slavery. Lincoln, outraged by the Kansas-Nebraska Act, emerged as a leading voice in the nascent Republican Party. He believed that slavery was morally wrong and a threat to the principles of equality and liberty upon which the nation was founded. Lincoln's eloquence and his ability to articulate the moral stakes of the slavery debate made him a powerful spokesman for the anti-slavery cause. The Kansas-Nebraska Act had far-reaching consequences. It further polarized the nation along sectional lines and contributed to the outbreak of violence in Kansas known as Bleeding Kansas, as pro-slavery and anti-slavery forces clashed. This tumultuous period set the stage for the political battles to come, battles in which Abraham Lincoln would play a central role. In 1858, Abraham Lincoln faced his political rival, Stephen Douglas, in a series of 7 debates for a seat in the U.S. Senate. These debates, held in towns across Illinois, became legendary for their intellectual rigor and their focus on the most pressing issue of the day, slavery. The Lincoln-Douglas debates transcended the confines of Illinois politics and captivated the nation's attention. Lincoln, the underdog in the race, used the debates to challenge Douglas's popular sovereignty doctrine, which held that residents of territories should decide whether or not to allow slavery. He argued that slavery was a moral evil that should be put on a path to extinction. Lincoln's eloquence and his unwavering moral clarity shone through in these debates. While Douglas ultimately won the Senate seat, the debates propelled Lincoln into the national spotlight. His performance established him as a leading voice in the Republican Party and a formidable opponent of the expansion of slavery. The debates solidified his reputation as a man of principle and conviction, qualities that would serve him well in the years to come. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. His victory, a testament to the growing strength of the Republican Party, was met with jubilation in the North and fury in the South. Lincoln's election proved to be a catalyst for secession. Southern states, fearing that Lincoln's administration would threaten the institution of slavery, began to secede from the Union. South Carolina was the first state to secede, followed by Mississippi, Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, and Texas. These 7 states formed the Confederate States of America, electing Jefferson Davis as their president. Lincoln, in his inaugural address, pleaded for unity and declared that secession was illegal. Despite Lincoln's efforts to preserve the Union, the nation plunged into civil war in April 1861 when Confederate forces fired upon Fort Sumter in South Carolina. Faced with the greatest crisis in the nation's history, Lincoln rose to the challenge, leading with courage, determination, and a deep commitment to preserving the Union. Abraham Lincoln, thrust into the role of commander-in-chief, faced the daunting task of leading a nation riven by civil war. He proved to be a shrewd and determined wartime leader, navigating complex military and political challenges with remarkable skill. Lincoln oversaw the expansion of the Union Army, appointed key generals, and developed a strategy to defeat the Confederacy. He recognized the importance of securing the border states of Missouri, Kentucky, and Maryland, which remained in the Union despite their pro-slavery sentiments. Lincoln also understood the need to strike at the heart of the Confederacy, aiming to capture the Confederate capital of Richmond, Virginia. Lincoln's relationship with his generals was often fraught as he searched for commanders who shared his strategic vision and possessed the mettle to win the war. He clashed with General George B. McClellan, whom he found to be overly cautious, and eventually replaced him with General Ulysses S. Grant, a tenacious and determined leader who would ultimately lead the Union to victory. On January 1st, 1863, Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, a watershed moment in American history. This executive order declared that all slaves held in Confederate territory shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free. The Emancipation Proclamation transformed the Civil War from a struggle to preserve the Union into a moral crusade for human freedom. While the proclamation did not immediately free all slaves in the United States, it had a profound impact. It energized the abolitionist movement, discouraged foreign recognition of the Confederacy, and allowed African Americans to enlist in the Union Army and Navy. The Emancipation Proclamation had far-reaching consequences, not just for the immediate course of the Civil War, but for the future of the nation. It paved the way for the eventual abolition of slavery throughout the United States with the passage of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution in 1865. On November 19, 1863, Abraham Lincoln delivered one of the most famous and enduring speeches in American history, the Gettysburg Address. Speaking at the dedication of a national cemetery at the site of the pivotal Battle of Gettysburg, Lincoln delivered a brief but powerful address that captured the essence of the nation's struggle and its aspirations for a new birth of freedom. In just 272 words, Lincoln eloquently articulated the principles for which the Union was fighting. He reminded his audience that the nation was conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. He honored the sacrifices of those who had fallen at Gettysburg and called upon his fellow citizens to ensure that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. The Gettysburg Address transcended the occasion for which it was written. It became a timeless testament to the enduring power of human equality and the importance of preserving democratic ideals. Lincoln's words continue to inspire generations of Americans and people around the world who strive for a more just and equitable society.